Hey, Tom from AQ Outdoors here at the Kananakis River with the brand new Pyranha Helectron playboat. We just wrapped up a session at the chubby wave right behind us here, as well as the mountain surf wave up above, and I just wanted to share some of my first thoughts and impressions after just paddling this boat for the first time. So just a little bit of background, this is my first time in a playboat this year. I'm a kind of intermediate level playboater who's been paddling Piranha playboats for the last 20 years or so. I've paddled the Jed and the Rev and some predecessor Piranha boats, but it's honestly been a while before I've been in one. And as my first day out in a playboat this year, I was definitely a little rusty and dusting off the cobwebs. So sizing wise, this is the medium Helectron. I'm about 5'10" and I have about size 10.5 feet. And I don't think I'd want to be much bigger than I am in this boat. It is a tight squeeze. There's not as much foot room as, say, a Rockstar. There's tons of room in the knees and hips. Just a little bit of a tight squeeze for someone who has a long inseam with bigger feet. That said, the outfitting is awesome. I love the new Piranha outfitting. It's a lot lighter weight than the previous stuff. The thigh hooks lock you in, and it is a solid foam bulkhead for the feet. I would have to modify this for my personal boat by cutting away of the little bit of center pillar foam just to make a little bit more room for my heels to come together. But other than that, not a lot that I would change on here. I put 2 shims of seat foam in there to get myself a little bit higher, which may have impacted my ability to roll this boat easily, but overall it still felt really very stable and super snappy edge to edge. So here on the Kananakis, we definitely have more holes to play in than big waves. So we'll start with the whole performance of this boat. Again, at our Chubby's wave here, it's a great wave for kind of intermediate playboating and learning all of the hole moves that you could potentially do in this boat. And at my level, it took a little bit of getting used to. I think that's just that foreign feeling from paddling Jackson boats for so long. But once I did start to get comfortable in the boat and start paddling from a bit more of an upright and forward position, it really came to life. The boat is super snappy edge to edge, really, really loose, but retentive in a hole. Throwing loops, no problem. There's tons of buoyancy, and with the included overthruster, you get tons of pop. There was more volume in the tail than what I'm used to, so occasionally if I landed in a bit of a backstab, it would fire me back forwards again. But once I learned to really kick those feet down and stomp the landing, it was really retentive and stuck super well. Flat spins and cartwheels, again, lots of volume in the middle, so they're super fast and very loose feeling. You just have to be really forward thinking and on top of the boat. The second I was a bit hesitant and leaning back, the boat kind of punished me for those situations for sure. So I think whole performance, it's really, really solid in the right hands if you're a really advanced level playboater, or once you've gotten used to the playboat, but you might feel a bit uncomfortable at first. So on a wave, I really like this boat. It feels super narrow. The hull and the edges are really, really sharp and stiff. It's extremely fast from edge to edge and very fast down the face of a wave. Really, really enjoyed just surfing and carving in this boat. Throwing little ends and the ability to spin and flat spin was really super good. I love Piranha plastic in terms of its stiffness. I don't feel the flex in the hull that I get out of Jackson plastic. The downside is that stiffness leads to sharp edges. So if you're rolling this boat a lot, you will get kind of cut up and nicked, and that's kind of normal for Piranha boats. They get pretty sharp once they get dinged up on the bottom of the river a little bit. But the trade-off is that higher performance plastic and stiffness on a wave. So I think first thoughts, overall impressions are really positive about this boat. I had a ton of fun, which kind of leads me to who I think this boat maybe was designed for. It seems like a higher end performance level playboat. I think it's going to be amazing for anyone who wants to do the top of the line wave or whole performance moves. I don't have the ability to throw phonics monkeys, but it did feel like it would spin and rotate on that bow really well with how narrow it is. So those upper level playboaters are going to really enjoy this boat. If you're more of an intermediate or beginner playboater, I think you probably have a bit more of a comfortable time learning in a Rockstar or something more forgiving, but it's not to say you couldn't paddle this. It's just going to take that little bit more getting used to and getting comfortable and familiar with the kayak. So that's our first thoughts and impressions of the new Pyranha Helectron kayak. I'm personally really excited to paddle this boat more and unlock some of that potential. If you do have questions about this boat or anything in particular, you can leave a comment below. You can also check us out online at aqoutdoors.com or visit us in either of our Calgary or Edmonton locations.